everything you've been told about money is an illusion. A grand deception keeping you trapped in an endless cycle of wanting more, yet never having enough. While some people work themselves to exhaustion, chasing wealth, others seem to attract it with mysterious ease. The difference isn't luck, intelligence, or even hard work. It's something far more fundamental. Money isn't what you think it is. It's not paper or digits. It's not even a resource to be earned. Money is energy, and right now, it's either flowing toward you or running the hell away. This isn't New Age nonsense. Your financial reality, every dollar that enters or exits your life, is a direct reflection of your inner frequency. A frequency programmed long before you could even speak, before you could reason, before you could question. You absorbed every money story around you. Your parents' stress about bills, their whispered fears about not enough, society's messages about struggle and scarcity. All of it became your programming. And here's the revelation that changes everything. Two people with identical skills, opportunities, and work ethic can experience completely different financial realities based on one thing alone: their frequency. That's why some people hustle for decades with minimal returns, while others seem to magnetize wealth with apparent ease. It's not about working harder. It's about your energetic relationship with abundance itself. The universe is always trying to send you wealth. The problem isn't out there. It's within you. Your internal blocks, your hidden beliefs about your worthiness, your subconscious programming. These are the barriers between you and the abundance that's already trying to reach you. Here's the truth. Money isn't earned, it's allowed. And your ability to allow it depends on healing the core wound that whispers, "I'm not safe to have wealth." A wound that's been running your financial life like a virus in your operating system. But here's the good news. What was programmed can be deprogrammed. Your frequency can be changed. And when you shift your energy field from lack to flow, everything about your financial life transforms. Not through struggle, but through alignment. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to make this shift. How to rewire your energy field so that wealth doesn't just come to you occasionally. It flows to you naturally as your birthright. Are you ready to step through this doorway? Your mind is running a complex money program, one you never consciously chose. Like an operating system installed without your permission, it dictates every financial decision you make. The program began forming when you were just a child. Every time your parents stressed about money, every argument about bills you overheard, every time you were told, "We can't afford that," it all went straight into your subconscious. These early experiences weren't just memories. They became your neural pathways, your default programming about what money means, how it behaves, and most importantly, what you deserve financially. This programming now operates below your conscious awareness. It's why you feel inexplicable anxiety when an unexpected bill arrives. Why you sabotage opportunities that might bring wealth. Why you can't seem to break through financial ceilings no matter how hard you try. Your subconscious is keeping you trapped in a prison of limitation, a mental matrix where certain financial realities seem impossible for you, while perfectly normal for others. These barriers aren't physical. They're energetic beliefs about what's possible. Society's messages only reinforced this programming. The stories about honest hard work, money doesn't grow on trees, rich get richer, poor get poorer. These narratives wove themselves into your understanding of how wealth operates in the world. The most powerful programming of all, your wealth identity, the invisible ceiling you placed on what's possible for you financially. The silent belief that certain levels of abundance are for other people, but not for you. This single belief pattern may be the most expensive thought you've ever had. But here's the truth that will set you free. These programs aren't your truth. They're installed limitations. And what's been installed can be uninstalled. What's been programmed can be reprogrammed. Your financial reality isn't fixed. It's a direct reflection of your current frequency. And in this next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to identify and shift the specific frequency blocks that have been limiting your wealth. Because once you adjust your frequency, money doesn't need to be pursued. It naturally begins flowing to you. Every moment of every day, you're broadcasting a specific frequency into the universe. This frequency isn't random. It's the sum total of your beliefs, emotions, and energy around money and worthiness. Think of this frequency like a radio signal that determines which station, which reality you tune into. Some people are permanently tuned to Struggle FM or Never Enough Radio. Others have found the frequency of abundant flow. Your financial experiences are the broadcast you're receiving based on your frequency. Here's what most financial advice misses entirely. Two people can take identical actions, but experience completely different results based solely on the frequency they're operating from. Same actions, different energy, different outcomes. Your emotions around money aren't just feelings, they're frequencies. When you feel anxiety about checking your bank account, frustration about bills, or shame about debt, those emotions create energetic resistance. They literally repel what you say you want. The good news is your frequency isn't fixed. It's calibratable. Like tuning a radio dial, you can intentionally shift your frequency to one that naturally attracts rather than repels abundance. This isn't manifesting through magical thinking. It's aligning your energy field with the natural frequency of wealth. And unlike most wealth creation strategies that require years of external effort, frequency adjustment happens internally, often creating immediate shifts in your financial reality. People who master this report experiencing synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, and resources appearing almost magically. This isn't esoteric nonsense. It's aligned with quantum physics and the science of vibration. Everything has a frequency, including wealth consciousness. When you shift your frequency to match what you desire, you activate resonance, the principle that like attracts like. Suddenly you're in alignment with the very thing you've been chasing. Here's the most important frequency principle. What you focus on, you energize. Most people drain their frequency by obsessing over what they can't control. The economy, other people's success, past mistakes. The wealthy focus nearly all their attention on what they can control, their own energy, beliefs, and responses. In the next section, we'll identify the 5 core frequency blocks that may be disrupting your wealth signal. For most people, even addressing just one of these can create an immediate shift in their financial reality. But first, let's understand the 2 main channels your frequency can operate on. There are fundamentally 2 ways to experience money. 2 channels your energy system can tune into. I call them the lack channel and the flow channel. Everyone is predominantly operating on one or the other, creating vastly different financial experiences. The lack channel operates on the frequency of not enough. Here, money feels scarce, unpredictable, and requires constant vigilance. You work hard but never seem to give ahead. When money comes in, there's momentary relief, followed quickly by new stress. Success feels exhausting because it's built on pushing rather than allowing. In the lack channel, certain laws seem absolute truth. Money requires struggle. There's only so much to go around. If someone wins, someone else must lose. Success comes at a cost. The wealthy are somehow different from you. These aren't universal truths. They're the operating principles of the scarcity frequency. The flow channel operates on the frequency of more than enough. Here, money moves naturally and abundantly. Opportunities appear synchronistically. The universe seems to conspire in your favor financially. You work from inspiration rather than desperation. Success feels like a natural unfolding rather than an exhausting climb. In the flow channel, different laws operate. Money flows easily where it's welcomed. There's always enough for everyone who aligns with abundance. Giving and receiving are 2 sides of the same coin. Wealth comes from value alignment, not struggle. These aren't wishful thinking. They're the operating principles of the abundance frequency, the most important revelation. These channels aren't determined by your external circumstances. People in identical financial situations can be operating on completely different frequencies. A millionaire can be stuck in the lack channel, while someone with modest means can be fully aligned with the flow channel. It's not about how much you have, it's about your relationship with what you have. And here's the empowering truth. You can consciously choose which channel to tune into, regardless of your current financial situation. This shift doesn't happen by changing your external world first. It happens by adjusting your internal frequency, which then automatically begins reorganizing your external reality to match. In the next section, we'll explore exactly how to make this channel switch. The 5 specific adjustments that shift your money frequency from lack to flow. Most people find that even implementing just one or two creates immediate evidence of change in their financial reality. But before we dive into those adjustments, let's explore a revolutionary concept that challenges everything conventional wisdom teaches about wealth creation. It's the understanding that money isn't earned through effort. It's allowed through alignment. This single perspective shift changes everything. The most revolutionary wealth concept you'll ever encounter is this: money isn't earned, it's allowed. This isn't semantic wordplay. It's a fundamental shift in understanding how wealth actually works. The conventional model teaches that wealth is directly proportional to effort. Work hard, earn more. But the wealthy know a different equation. Wealth is proportional to the value you create and the capacity you have to receive. Those who struggle most often work incredibly hard, but have unconscious blocks to receiving. Think of yourself as a vessel for wealth. Some people have vessels that are tiny or full of cracks. No matter how much flows toward them, they can't hold much. Others have vessels that are vast and ever-expanding. Wealth naturally accumulates. Your vessel size isn't determined by education, background, or luck. It's shaped by your beliefs about what you deserve. At the core of most receiving blocks is what I call the worthiness wound, the deep, often unconscious belief that you somehow don't deserve wealth. This wound whispers, "Who am I to have abundance while others struggle? If I get too much, I might lose myself. I haven't suffered enough to deserve this." These silent beliefs cost people millions over their lifetimes. Allowing wealth isn't passive. It's strategic alignment. It means removing the internal friction that fights against what you say you want. When your conscious desires, "I want financial freedom," align with your subconscious beliefs, "I deserve abundance," your actions, "I create value confidently," and your emotional state, "I trust in flow," wealth arrives without the exhausting push. This explains the common phenomenon of people who suddenly receive wealth through inheritance, business success, even lottery wins, only to lose it all. Their vessels weren't prepared to hold that level of abundance. The money had to escape to match their internal capacity. Before sustainable wealth can arrive, the vessel must be healed and expanded. The allowing paradigm doesn't eliminate action. It transforms your relationship with action. Instead of pushing boulders uphill, you find yourself carried by a current of momentum. Doors open synchronistically. The right people appear at the right time. What was once hard work becomes inspired action. Still requiring energy, but feeling energizing rather than depleting. This is the difference between earning and allowing. The good news is that your receiving capacity can be healed and expanded at any point in your life. The worthiness wound isn't your fault. It was programmed into you, but healing it is your responsibility if you want sustainable wealth. In the next section, we'll explore the practical, step-by-step process of healing this core wound to expand your capacity to receive. Before we move to the practical healing techniques, I want to emphasize, this isn't about abandoning effort or value creation. It's about transforming your relationship with effort. When you heal your receiving capacity, you can actually create more value with less struggle, because you're no longer fighting against your own energetic blocks. You're working with the current, not against it. Now let's address the core wound that blocks wealth reception. This isn't just one wound, but a constellation of related blockages. Most people have one or two dominant areas that, once healed, create the biggest financial shifts. As I describe each one, notice which resonates most strongly for you. The safety wound manifests as the deep fear that there will never be enough. This wound creates constant anxiety about money, no matter how much you have. Even high earners with this wound feel perpetually insecure, hoarding resources, unable to enjoy what they have. Healing involves training your nervous system to recognize sufficiency, that you are safe now with what you have in this moment. The worth wound manifests as the belief, I don't deserve abundance. Signs include undercharging, over-delivering, feeling guilty about charging at all, or believing your value must be earned through struggle. This wound creates an invisible ceiling on your wealth. You subconsciously won't allow yourself to have more than you believe you deserve. Healing requires consciously installing new beliefs about your inherent worthiness. A voice wound manifests as difficulty asking for what you're worth or communicating your value clearly. Signs include feeling physically uncomfortable naming your prices, constantly justifying your rates, or avoiding money conversations entirely. This wound creates financial stagnation. Money responds to clear, confident requests. Healing requires practicing the verbal affirmation of your worth until it feels natural. The power wound manifests as blaming external circumstances for your financial situation. Signs include frequent complaints about the economy, market, or how things are, feeling financially powerless, or waiting for external validation before taking action. This wound creates stagnation through learned helplessness. Healing requires reclaiming your role as the primary creator of your financial reality. The identity wound manifests as the belief, people like me don't have wealth, don't run successful businesses, don't charge premium prices. This invisible boundary creates self-sabotage whenever you approach the edge of your identity comfort zone. Healing requires consciously expanding your identity to include wealth as natural, not foreign. The most powerful question, who would I be if money were easy? These wounds can be systematically healed through a 5-step protocol. 1. Awareness, identifying which wounds are active for you. 2. Compassion, understanding these wounds weren't your fault. 3. Release, letting go of old stories through specific exercises. 4. Reprogramming, installing new beliefs through daily practice. And 5. Embodiment, living as if the new beliefs are already true. This process literally rewires your nervous system around money. Let me share specific healing practices for each wound. For the safety wound, daily sufficiency practice. Spend time appreciating what you already have. For the worth wound, mirror work with the affirmation, I am inherently worthy of abundance. For the voice wound, practice stating your rates without justification. For the power wound, replace "I can't because" with "I choose to." For the identity wound, write the story of your future wealthy self as if it's already happening. As you begin healing these core wounds, you'll notice something remarkable happening. Money starts flowing with less effort. Opportunities appear that were always there, but invisible to your wounded perception. Your capacity to receive expands. But to sustain this new frequency, you must understand another critical principle: the circulation of wealth energy. The very word currency reveals a fundamental truth about money that most people miss. It comes from the Latin currere, meaning to run or to flow. Money, by its very nature, is meant to circulate, not to be hoarded or stagnated. It lives in movement. Here's the paradox that wealthy people understand. The tighter you hold on to money, the less of it flows to you. When you hoard resources out of fear, you send a powerful, energetic message to the universe. I don't trust the flow. There's not enough to go around. And the universe responds by creating exactly that reality. Wealth operates as a circuit that requires both giving and receiving. When you consciously circulate money with trust rather than fear, whether through generous tipping, investing in growth, or spending on things that truly matter to you, you aren't losing money. You're activating its potential energy and creating space for more to arrive. Most people operate from zero-sum thinking about money, believing that if someone wins, someone else must lose. This creates reluctance to circulate wealth freely. The wealthy operate from infinite flow thinking, understanding that properly directed circulation creates expansion for everyone involved. $1 circulated creates far more than $1 of value. There are 3 essential types of circulation that create sustainable wealth: upward flow, investing in your growth and opportunities; outward flow, giving generously without attachment; and inward flow, allowing yourself to receive fully. Most people overemphasize one flow while neglecting the others, creating imbalance. Mastery comes from maintaining all 3 in conscious balance. One of the most powerful rituals for shifting your wealth frequency is what I call the circulation spell. Take a sum of money that feels slightly uncomfortable to part with. Give it away with conscious intention to someone in need, a cause you believe in, or as an anonymous gift. As you do, affirm, I trust in the flow. As I give freely, I receive abundantly. This isn't charity. It's energetic reprogramming. Another powerful practice is the receipt ritual. Whenever you spend money, whether paying bills or making purchases, place your hand over your heart and affirm, this money flows through me, not from me. It returns multiplied in expected and unexpected ways. This simple ritual transforms your relationship with spending from loss to circulation, telling your subconscious that money is not leaving you permanently. The overflow envelope is a physical anchor for abundance consciousness. Create a special envelope or account where you place a small percentage of all money that comes to you, even just 1 to 2%. This isn't savings for a purpose. It's a physical representation of your belief in overflow. As it grows, it reprograms your subconscious to expect excess rather than scarcity. The act of contributing to it, regardless of amount, is far more important than the sum collected. Remember this fundamental truth. Wealth isn't built by what you keep. It's activated by what you circulate with trust. Your willingness to let money flow through you without desperate attachment is precisely what signals to the universe that you're a safe channel for more to arrive. This isn't spiritual bypassing. It's energetic physics. Closed circuits stagnate. Open circuits expand. As you implement these circulation practices, remember that intention magnifies impact. Money circulated with conscious intention carries far more energetic power than money spent unconsciously. Before any significant financial transaction, take a moment to set clear intention. This single practice can transform your entire relationship with the flow of wealth. Now, let's explore the practical tools for maintaining your new wealth frequency. Just as you would never leave your front door wide open when you leave home, you should never leave your energy field unprotected as you move through the world. The first essential practice is the morning energy seal. Before checking devices or engaging with the world, place your hand on your heart and declare, "My energy field is sealed. I am safe to receive abundance today. Nothing can disrupt my wealth frequency." The second essential practice is moving with value. Rather than asking, "What can I get?" lead with, "What can I contribute?" This isn't about being selfless. It's strategic energy alignment. When you prioritize creating genuine value, you activate the law of reciprocity. The universe reflects back what you project. Those who focus obsessively on taking create resistance. Those who focus on genuine contribution activate natural flow. The third essential practice is speaking wealth into reality. Your words aren't just descriptions, they're creation instructions for your energy field. Eliminate phrases like, "I can't afford it," or "money is tight." Replace them with declarations like, "I am a money magnet. Wealth flows to me easily. I always have more than enough." Speak these aloud daily, especially when emotions are heightened, to reprogram your subconscious frequency. The fourth essential practice is creating space for wealth. Your physical environment is a direct reflection of your internal frequency. Clear clutter, which represents stagnant energy. Create a space that feels abundant to you, whether through beauty, organization, or meaningful objects. Place symbols of wealth in your everyday environment. The external shifts you make create powerful subconscious shifts in your wealth frequency. The fifth essential practice is the night wealth implantation. Your subconscious is most receptive right before sleep. Create a nightly ritual where you visualize wealth flowing to you easily. Feel the emotions of having abundance already. Then, repeat affirmations like, "While I sleep, my subconscious creates wealth. I wake to a world of increasing abundance." This bypasses conscious resistance and works directly with your deepest programming. Create physical wealth anchors that instantly reconnect you to your highest frequency state. This could be a special object you touch when feeling lack, an image that represents abundance to you, or even a specific gesture. When you're feeling particularly abundant and aligned, anchor that state to your chosen trigger. Then, use it whenever you notice your frequency dropping. Over time, you can shift your state in seconds rather than hours. Protect your wealth frequency vigilantly. Be selective about media consumption. Mainstream news is designed to trigger scarcity and fear. Distance yourself from chronic complainers and those obsessed with lack. This isn't elitism. It's energetic self-preservation. Just as you wouldn't drink from a poisoned well, don't consume poisoned energy. Your frequency is your most valuable financial asset. Remember that frequency work doesn't replace strategic action. It transforms its effectiveness. Continue learning practical financial skills, building multiple income streams, and making sound investments. The difference is that these actions will now flow from alignment rather than desperation, dramatically amplifying their effectiveness. When frequency and strategy align, you enter a state of effortless wealth creation. As you implement these practices consistently, you'll find something remarkable happening. The frequency of abundance will become your natural state, rather than something you have to constantly work to maintain. Wealth consciousness will be who you are, not just something you do. But there's one final principle to understand: a broader definition of wealth that ensures true prosperity. True wealth extends far beyond your bank account. There are multiple dimensions of prosperity: financial wealth, money and assets; physical wealth, health and vitality; relational wealth, meaningful connections; time wealth, freedom and autonomy; purpose wealth, meaningful contribution; and experiential wealth, joy and growth. Obsessing over financial wealth while neglecting these other dimensions creates a poverty of being. There's a form of wealth most people completely overlook, what I call invisible prosperity. This includes disasters that never happened, perfect timing that prevented problems, unexpected help that arrived at crucial moments, and opportunities that found you by chance. When you begin recognizing these forms of abundance, your receiving field expands dramatically. Practice daily gratitude for both the visible and invisible prosperity in your life. Another overlooked source of prosperity is the wealth hidden within challenges. Every financial setback contains the seed of greater abundance when perceived correctly. Lost jobs lead to better opportunities. Failed ventures teach invaluable lessons. Market crashes create buying opportunities. The wealthy don't experience fewer challenges. They perceive challenges differently, as redirections rather than obstacles. This perception shift itself is worth millions. A secret of the truly prosperous: they understand the proper prioritization of wealth dimensions. Health forms the foundation without which financial wealth loses meaning. Relationships provide support and purpose for wealth creation. Time freedom allows wealth to be enjoyed. Purpose gives wealth direction. When you align these dimensions properly, rather than sacrificing essential aspects for financial gain alone, you create sustainable abundance across all areas. Begin expanding your definition of prosperity by asking, where am I already wealthy? Clean water, the ability to read, access to information, freedom of movement. Billions lack these basics. When you recognize the abundance already present in your life, you shift your frequency instantly from lack to gratitude. This isn't about ignoring financial goals. It's about operating from a foundation of already enough as you create more. What you appreciate appreciates. When properly balanced, all dimensions of wealth enhance each other. Financial wealth allows investment in health. Good health provides energy for wealth creation. Strong relationships create opportunities and support. Purpose directs financial resources toward meaningful impact. The truly prosperous maintain awareness of this interconnection, never sacrificing essential dimensions for financial gain alone. This balanced approach creates sustainable abundance that money alone cannot buy. As you integrate these expanded definitions of wealth into your consciousness, your relationship with money transforms. You no longer pursue financial abundance from desperation or fear, but as a natural extension of an already abundant life. This shift in foundation changes everything about how money responds to you. Now, let's bring all these principles together into daily practice. Begin each day by consciously setting your wealth frequency. Before engaging with the external world, take 5 to 10 minutes for what I call frequency calibration. Express gratitude for specific forms of abundance in your life. Visualize wealth flowing to you easily. Declare wealth affirmations aloud. To set clear intentions for how you'll maintain your prosperity consciousness throughout the day. This morning practice alone can transform your financial reality. Throughout the day, practice pattern interruption whenever scarcity thoughts arise. The moment you notice thoughts like, "I can't afford this," or "there's never enough," stop them mid-formation. Take a deep breath and consciously replace them with an abundance perspective. Example, "I'm creatively resourceful," or "there are always more opportunities for me." Don't fight negative thoughts. Replace them. What you resist persists. What you replace dissolves. End each day with an evening prosperity review. Reflect on moments when you maintained high wealth frequency and celebrate those wins. Compassionately note where you slipped into scarcity thinking without judgment. Ask, what wealth came to me today in any form? What am I grateful for? How did I circulate abundance? This practice reinforces neural pathways of prosperity consciousness while you sleep. Remember that frequency work compounds over time. Don't expect complete transformation overnight. Each small shift in consciousness creates momentum. Each time you choose abundance thinking over scarcity, you strengthen new neural pathways. Within weeks of consistent practice, What once required conscious effort becomes your default state. Within months, your external reality begins reorganizing to match your new internal frequency. As your frequency stabilizes, you'll develop strong prosperity intuition. You'll naturally sense which opportunities align with your highest good, which relationships support your abundance, and which paths lead to sustainable wealth. This isn't mystical. It's your system operating without the static of fear and lack. Trust these subtle nudges. The wealthy make decisions from this aligned state rather than from anxiety or desperation. Amplify your prosperity frequency through conscious community. Surround yourself with others committed to abundance consciousness. Create or join a prosperity tribe where you can share wins, support through challenges, and hold each other accountable to maintaining high frequency. Our wealth consciousness is powerfully affected by those around us. When you can't find physical community, connect with abundance-minded people through books, podcasts, and online groups. The ultimate goal isn't just having more money. It's becoming someone who naturally attracts and sustains prosperity in all its forms. As you integrate these principles, you'll find yourself becoming a living embodiment of abundance consciousness. Money stress will be replaced by peaceful confidence. Desperate hustling will transform into inspired creation. You'll no longer chase wealth. You'll simply express it as the natural state of who you've become. The only question remaining is, will you put these principles into practice? Understanding them intellectually isn't enough. Embodiment is what creates transformation. I encourage you to select just one practice from what you've learned today and implement it consistently for the next 30 days. Notice what shifts. Remember, money isn't earned through struggle. It's allowed through alignment. Your new financial reality awaits your decision to step into it.